time to be a Chiefs fan. Your team wins the Super Bowl in a dramatic comeback. Then, 2 months later, your city is hosting the NFL Draft.
Chiefs Kingdom, can I hear you out there?
People from all over, Philly, Miami, Chicago, come to Kansas City. But one KC superfan, no, not her, him. He wasn't here.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. How about those?
And wait till you hear why. Wait. Was ChiefsAholic here?
Do we really think he's going to show up tonight at the draft?
I just got a text. They think he is in Kansas City, so keep your eyes open.
Now, undefeated with this sign, baby.
He was the #1 fan. He was getting a lot of fame. And now, turn that upside down. Everybody and their mother is looking for him.
I'm Liz, and this is Dave. We've been reporting the story for months to figure out where, why, and who is the superfan known as ChiefsAholic.
I think he probably has a lot of secrets.
There's always more to the story.
And I never had a clue that he was going to do this. And I'm going to keep hunting for him until I find him.
How long have you been a Kansas City Chiefs fan?
I think since the day I was born. I think I came home from the hospital in a Chiefs outfit, probably.
Describe ChiefsAholic to someone who's never heard of him.
He just wears a wolf suit to every single Chiefs game, home or away. He's always there. He would always wear like a different outfit, like on top of it. Chiefs pajama pants or like different shirts. Usually a Chiefs hat too, I believe, on top of the wolf suit.
All right, so you're probably wondering why the wolf suit. Well, we were. So we brought in an expert. This is Lynn Weird Wolf Schmidt, not to be mistaken for ChiefsAholic. He's been a Kansas City superfan and a staple for 25 years.
Chiefs, baby!
You can't beat the Chiefs! You can't beat the Chiefs! You can't beat the Chiefs!
The Wolfpack started back in Old Municipal Stadium. There was a set of bleachers that a bunch of fans sat at, and they were really making a ruckus, yelling at the opposing team. The Kansas City Star, one of the reporters said it sounded like a wolf pack, like a bunch of howling wolves out there. The Chiefs the very next year ran with that, and that's how we wound up with KC Wolf as our mascot.
Now, let's get back to the other wolf, ChiefsAholic, who first put on a wolf suit at a game in 2013. So how did he become one of the league's biggest superfans on one of the NFL's best teams? We hired a bunch of actors to show you.
A lot of people saw him. I think he probably hit just about every parking lot before he went into the game. It had a good look. People really were attracted to it. They saw him coming, sharing drinks and shots and barbecue and food, and everybody's wanting photos and taking pictures.
All right, 1, 2, 3, Chiefs!
And the cameras loved him. He had a huge following on Twitter, and he was on all the time.
Every single day before a Chiefs game, he would always post a video at the stadium, whether it would be at Arrowhead or the away stadium, with his big flag, and he was just like jumping outside, like super excited, and kind of represented the Chiefs kingdom like that.
People loved him. He was doing giveaways on social media, giving away free tickets, free jerseys. He gave away tickets to the Chiefs-Bills game. You're just like, this dude just has $800-ish, $1,000 to just give away for free. And then he would drive to every road game too. And so we always wondered why he would drive.
Just thought he was like a very dedicated fan. I didn't really question it. I think he was honestly like the poster child for Chiefs fans.
I always assumed he was a trust funder. I've been doing this 25 years. I can't afford to do what he's doing, and I've had a good, steady job all my life, so.
Would fans ever really know who he was?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just a mystery to a lot of people.
I know he posted pictures of him and his mom at a K-State football game, so I knew what his face looked like, never saw it in person. He's kind of a bigger guy outside of the wolf suit. He always talked about going to the gym and stuff. He gave me his phone number. He was saved as ChiefsAholic in my phone. I never knew his name. I don't think anyone really did.
Yeah, I'd always wondered like who he was. So many people had met him at tailgates and stuff that I kind of just believed like what he would say online.
Lindsay True, who was getting her master's in forensic psychology at Arizona State, became friends with ChiefsAholic on social media. In late 2022, she got the chance to meet him, face to face.
Around September of last year when he was coming to Arizona for the game, he like texted me asking like if we could meet up that week, like after the game, and I was like, yeah, we can. And I was like, wait, what's your name again? Because I didn't even know his name at that point. Oh, it's Xaviar. So I was like, okay, like that's fine. We can like go get like drinks and like have some appetizers. But yeah, that was the first time I ever met him. He took me to this brewery. We were just talking about going to the game. Like we like really only ever talked about the Chiefs. I didn't really know much about him to know what else to talk about.
Okay, so where are you from?
Oh, don't worry about me.
Seriously, where are you from?
No, don't worry about me. I don't like talking about myself.
We're gonna win the Super Bowl this year, right?
We better.
He was respectful, yeah, he was nice, but yeah, he was just seemed like two friends going out to dinner just normally.
Did he talk about his family at all?
I think the only thing he told me is that he has like a cousin and an uncle in LA and that he has a mom and a brother. We didn't really hang out for that long. I think it was like less than an hour in total. And then he took me home. We would text like on and off like every 2 weeks or so just talking about the Chiefs, but I didn't see him for about a month after that, probably.
That next time was late October 2022. And Xaviar was driving back to KC after a Chiefs win over San Francisco. He invited Lindsay to a Phoenix Suns game. Lindsay went and took the selfie. And what happened after the game?
I believe he asked if I wanted to go gambling with him at the casino, and I was tired, I had homework, so I was like, no, you can just take me home, but he was gonna go to the casino to gamble. We would just text every few weeks about sports and the Chiefs. I didn't see it going like anywhere further than that. Meeting him in person solidified in my head that he was who he made himself out to be.
Hey, we still gotta get that #1 seed, baby. 2 more dubs, and that'll do it. How about those Chiefs?
On December 12th, 2022, ChiefsAholic was rallying Chiefs Kingdom on social media to meet him for their Week 15 matchup in Houston. A few days later, the post suddenly stopped. The wolf went dark.
No one was seeing him tweeting, and I said to my mom, this ChiefsAholic guy hasn't posted anything, like I'm kind of worried about it.
No one saw him at the game. He had made plans with like 5 or so people to meet at the game. Like he told them what seats he was gonna be in. And he never was there.
It kind of became a big thing, like on Chiefs Twitter, at least everyone was searching for him. I was worried about him, to be honest.
We all wondered what was going on with him, if he was in trouble, or if he was dead, or if he was in the hospital.
As the day progressed, it didn't take long. Somebody came across, oh, we found him.
Friday, December 16th. That morning, it was a beautiful morning. And around 9:45, I heard the radio call. Tulsa Teachers Credit Union. Armed robbery in progress. Allegedly, he entered the bank very, very quickly. We believe he jumped over the counter, had his face covered, put a gun in a woman's chest, asked to be taken to the hundreds. He did make a statement that he would blow someone's head off.
Come on, hurry up. Open the door. Hurry up.
He wanted the hundreds. He knew exactly what he was looking for. Took the money. One of our officers spotted in a residential area a person matching the physical description on a bicycle and with a large backpack on his back. And then the bicycle did a U-turn and started trying to get away. When he got back out on the main street where he'd been seen,
Breathe! Put your hands on your head!
there was 3 other officers waiting on him. As I pulled up on the scene, they had the suspect face down on the ground. He had an overstuffed backpack, and a weapon, and $150,000 from the bank in cash. Stood by while they handcuffed and security and made the arrest.
At this point, Chiefs Kingdom was searching for any sign of the wolf. On December 19th, 2022, the day after the Chiefs-Texans game, a teacher's assistant and KC fan from Tulsa came across a hit. Armed with only his first name, Xaviar, she had been scouring police department websites along the route from Kansas City to Houston. She came across a mugshot and messaged a friend. Is this him?
Kansas City Chiefs fans are convinced the suspect in the Tulsa County Jail is a popular Chiefs superfan.
Bank robbery? It's like, wow, we didn't know this guy. Instantly you go to, oh, he must have been robbing banks all along. You know, maybe there's a whole string of them, allegedly.
I wouldn't pick Tulsa County to commit a bank robbery. Within a short matter of days, we already were like, that's the guy that runs around the Chiefs Stadium in a wolf outfit.
5 days after the arrest, Bixby, Oklahoma police tracked down Xaviar's car 3 miles away from the Tulsa Teachers Credit Union. It was parked behind a fitness center, where police say Xaviar was riding his bike to make his escape.
ChiefsAholic, also known as Xaviar Michael Babudar, who was disguising himself as a f***ing wolf who loved the Kansas City Chiefs, was actually caught red-handed with a gun robbing a bank.
I was like absolutely shocked. It was very hard to believe, yeah, and just the thought that I had like been in his car before and everything, and he kind of knew where I lived. I was a little fearful that somebody that I thought to be so nice and to be one of my friends, that somebody of that status and of that prominence, like to the Chiefs kingdom, like could do something like that. It was kind of hard to process for a while.
Xaviar Michael Babudar, who was 28 at the time, was charged with robbery with a firearm and assault while masked or disguised. This all sounds like something straight from a Hollywood script. An NFL superfan who dresses up in a wolf suit is also an alleged bank robber? It seemed made up. But that happened. The gambling aspect, which we'll get to in a minute, piqued Dave's curiosity. So we wanted to dig deeper to find out just who really is Xaviar Babudar.
We confirmed that he had employment at Amazon before the pandemic. And then he resigned in 2018. There's the other stuff about Kansas State. And he was very adamant that he had gone there and he had graduated.
And was like, had some $12 an hour job at a warehouse, and that he is now managing all these warehouses and is extremely successful and wealthy. And I think in the tweet it says, hard work pays off.
We called Kansas State, and there was no record of Babudar attending there. And there was no evidence that Babudar had any recent employment. According to a bankruptcy file, Babudar's father abandoned him, his mother, and older brother when Babudar was 10 years old. Eventually, the Babudars ended up living a nomadic lifestyle and slept in their cars. They would use hotel pools and lobbies without staying there, repeatedly cited for trespassing, and were often asked to leave various store parking lots.
The family does establish the mailbox address in 2014, which is as much as you can establish residency when you're living in your car.
We didn't see his names or his family's names in any of the police incident reports we got until, what was it, 2016?
So then they have all these petty crimes. You can kind of make a map and dot them throughout the West Coast. They came back to Kansas City, and did that become natural, just to sort of exist without any real roots?
The roots that he portrayed turned out to be not true.
We pored over Babudar's social media and saw something. Something Chiefs Kingdom already knew. This guy liked to bet, big, and often.
He'd tweet about gambling a good amount. ChiefsAholic would tweet his bet slips. We talked about gambling frequently.
He sure bragged about his gambling on social media a lot.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
There is one bet that he placed that he did not publicize, though.
Well, at least one big bet we know about.
Week 6 last year, the Chiefs were playing the Bills, which is a huge game. I had heard from someone that the sportsbook here, Barstool Sportsbook, had received the biggest bet they've received since it opened, $80,000 bet on the Chiefs money line. I had heard it came from a beefier dude with an arrowhead tattoo on his bicep. And immediately I was like, oh my God, I know who that is. But I had texted him. I was like, dude, you just put 80 racks on the Chiefs? Like, question mark? And he's like, don't let that get out. I like to hustle in private.
Why do you think he didn't put that on Twitter?
And $80,000, it's different. It just seems so much, the magnitude of it. That's a big, big bet. He knew that it was going to get attention.
It could raise a red flag.
Yes.
And so he goes to the game. It's a good game.
Mahomes takes, he fires downfield, it is picked off, and the Bills, they're running down to the end zone for the celebration.
Chiefs lost. He lost $80,000. The next week, he drives to Santa Clara. The Chiefs were in San Francisco. He was at the game, second row, wherever he sits, a week after he lost $80,000 on the Chiefs. And how he had $80,000 is just crazy to me.
On February 3rd, 2023, despite pleas from the Tulsa District Attorney's Office, Babudar's bond was reduced from $200,000 to $80,000.
I was astonished that a person could go into a bank and put a gun to a person's chest and threaten to blow their brains out and have their bond reduced from $200,000 to $80,000. Totally astonished.
Michael Lloyd, a Tulsa bail bondsman, put up the $80,000 bond with a contract for Babudar to appear in court at a later date. Babudar was now out of jail. He also had to wear a GPS ankle monitor. Michael Lloyd declined to be interviewed on camera for this project, but Lloyd did agree to a recorded phone interview back in late March of 2023.
Michael, you're the bail bondsman who was handling Xaviar Babudar, right?
That is correct. Michael Lloyd bail bonds. Yeah, I mean, some people call me Lloyd, some people call me Mike, some people call me Mike, some people call me other things, but I'm not going to repeat it because you're got me recorded.
Do you get to know these guys? I mean, were you kind of in a lot of contact with him? And
Yes. $80,000 bond? Yeah, I talk to him often.
Yeah.
He's out doing his thing, and his pattern is the same. He went to a Catholic church every Sunday. The family does, all three of them, every Sunday. They go to...
And the brother.
Yes, and the brother, Noah.
So,
and mother
but
is
then-
Carl Ann. Went to the gym because he's real fascinated with the gym, and he's been doing the same thing every day.
Bank robber, wearing a mask, no ties to the community, violent aspect of the crime. I mean, it's the type of thing that you worry about is, I hope we're not going to be wondering where a particular individual is.
According to bail bondsman Michael Lloyd, home for Babudar was the Spring Hill Suites in Tulsa after posting bond. It is there, presumably, that he watched his beloved team lift the Lombardi Trophy on February 12th. Before the 2022 season started, Babudar had placed two $5,000 bets with an Illinois sportsbook. One on the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl at 10-1 odds. The other on Patrick Mahomes winning regular season MVP at 8-1. Both ultimately happened. Federal authorities confirmed that Babudar was mailed and received a check for $100,000 on March 24, 2023. One day later, 7 weeks after being out on bond, Babudar's ankle monitor alarm went off.
Unexpectedly, on Saturday evening, we got a tamper alert that he was cutting his leg monitor. Once we got that, we go to the location where it is, and of course they're gone by then. But we found the leg monitor that was cut.
Not surprised in the least bit. In fact, we predicted it, that once he makes bail, he's going to run.
It was like, yep, told you.
We went to his hotel where he was staying, Spring Hill Suites, room 309. And that's where he had been the whole time as he's been on bond. Now, he's done everything like he's supposed to, all the way up until Saturday. I'm kind of questioning why he did it. Something had to pressure him because he was doing everything like he was supposed to. I'm on the hook for the whole $80,000. Right now, they're knocking on my door saying, hey, he failed to appear. Guess what? You need to pay us $80,000. Now he's got $1 million bond, and they got a warrant out for his arrest. Everybody and their mother is looking for him.
Xaviar Babudar is now wanted tonight on a $1 million bond for removing his ankle monitor and disappearing.
Where is he? That's where I'm at. Where is he?
Federal agents soon joined the nationwide manhunt for Xaviar Babudar. From superfan to fugitive. His face was now on the FBI's most wanted list. By April 24th, Babudar had been on the run for a month, and the NFL draft was in his hometown of Kansas City. Was this enough to make ChiefsAholic come out of hiding? We went to find out.
Do we really think he's going to show up tonight at the draft?
I just got a text from Lindsay True. She said that not only the U.S. Marshals talked to her today, but also the FBI was there. And this is, and I quote from her in this text, "They think he is in Kansas City, so keep your eyes open."
But how many superfans are on the lam with robbery charges and $1 million bonds? You really going to show your face at this place?
How many superfans drive to every one of their team's away games and dress up in a wolf suit? I think anything's possible with this guy.
Dave and I were part of the 300,000 fans who poured into KC's Union Station over 3 days. Bounty hunters, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals were all on high alert and tracking Babudar. Odds are he wanted to be here. Some fans joked ChiefsAholic would pop up on stage next to Roger Goodell. But he never surfaced. Two more months went by, and Babudar remained a ghost.
Did you consider reaching out to him at all?
I mean, I thought about it, but I mean, I more so wanted to know like what was going through his head, that like he would rob a bank, armed rob a bank, and then I knew him to be this completely nice, funny guy. But I was like, I just need to let everything like take its course. Like, I probably shouldn't be reaching out to a alleged felon.
How dangerous do you think he is right now, being out there?
How dangerous is armed robbery, right? How dangerous is anybody who's alleged to have committed an armed robbery?
He needed money, he robbed a bank. If that's in fact what happened, okay? I'm not saying he did it, but it looks like it did. And whether he did the crime or not, there's reasons why people do things. You know, maybe he's got a mental problem. Maybe there's things going on that we can help him with so he doesn't repeat the same crime again and again. And just because he did something wrong, okay, he didn't kill anyone, he didn't hurt anyone, the gun he used was a BB gun. So he didn't go in there with the intent to kill someone.
The gun was officially a black CO2 pistol. And actually, it can be used to kill.
The weapon doesn't matter. A real gun, an imitation gun, or it wasn't really even a real gun. I don't give a lick about that. You can't, after the fact, say, well, I wasn't going to hurt anybody. I didn't really plan that out. Well, tell that to the bank teller. They're never going to be the same.
Breaking news.
That breaking news involves a Chiefs superfan who is once again behind bars.
out with your hands up.
It all came to an end Friday when Xaviar was arrested in California.
On July 7th, after more than 3 months on the run, federal agents found Xaviar Babudar in Lincoln, California, just outside Sacramento, some 1,800 miles from where he fled. After the affidavit was released, the allegations were even more serious. Babudar was suspected in 7 other armed and attempted robberies in 5 states. And remember when we told you that Babudar liked to gamble? Babudar was also suspected of laundering more than $1 million in cash between April and December 2022 by purchasing and redeeming casino chips while in Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois.
In the back of my mind, since that's happened, that's always kind of what I thought he was doing for a living, was traveling these games, probably stopping at other banks. It's just kind of a scary thought, because he's almost capable of doing whatever.
When you look back at the time you spent together after the fact, were there any signs or indications that this guy was capable of something like this?
I would not say at all, no. I didn't think that he would ever be like that. He was just so nice to me and to other people too, so I just didn't expect it at all.
6th straight AFC West divisional title. And what better way than a blowout against Hey.
And just when you thought there wouldn't be any more twists, this news. Investigators revealed evidence that linked Babudar to 2 more bank robberies in Nevada and California while he was a fugitive. Is there more to the story, though?
There's always more to the story.
On September 20th, 2023, we sat down with Matthew Merriman, Xaviar Babudar's attorney. What are you building your defense around?
I can't discuss the pending litigation.
Why run if you're innocent?
Well, our law firm didn't represent Xaviar during that time, so I don't have a response. But I've seen other people run before, and it's not necessarily guilt or innocence that comes into question. There are a lot of factors that can come into play when somebody decides to abscond from their bail.
How would you assess or describe his gambling tendencies?
I think Xaviar would tell you that he has a gambling addiction. I don't think that it's a healthy relationship with gambling.
Did gambling drive whatever issues he's facing now, do you believe?
I don't have a comment on that.
Merriman declined to provide specifics on Babudar's case, but we wanted to learn more about the person. So we sent Babudar some questions, and he wrote out his answers. Who is Xaviar Babudar? How would you describe yourself?
So Xaviar's response to that question is, first of all, I'm just another person in the crowd, just trying to make and find my way. But I would describe myself as being loyal, loving, and dedicated, especially to my family, faith, and sports. I also try to care for others, and am always willing to share what I have with people who are in need. I always just want to give back and help people who are less fortunate, especially kids. I guess my childhood kind of formed my desire to help children.
How do you plan to follow the Chiefs this season?
Well, it's going to be a struggle for sure, and that's putting it lightly. Being incarcerated makes it very tough. I will do my best to catch the games when I can, as I should be able to listen to the television broadcast through a janky, 90s-looking battery-powered hand radio. Words cannot describe the mental stress and acceptance I've gone through after having been to every game at Arrowhead since 2016. As I have said before, you can put the wolf in a cage, but no matter what, I am still going to howl for my team. You already know what it is. Let's go, Chiefs.
What regrets, if any, do you have?
Xaviar writes, "Well, being ChiefsAholic was an obsession at times, and the social media part of it really made the whole thing much more addicting. So I wish that I had had better control over that aspect, especially as it related to social media. I am also deeply sorry for the unwanted attention this entire situation has brought on my family, my friends, and all of my supporters across the Chiefs Kingdom."
Some people in Chiefs Kingdom have tried to disassociate you with the fan base. How does that make you feel?
I just pray for people's continued support. I believe that I will always be a part of the Chiefs Kingdom, and that I am no better and no worse than any other fan. But I know there will always be room in the kingdom for me. We are a family, and you don't turn your back on family during hard times. I hope people will just try to be understanding of the different situations we find ourselves in before rushing to judgment and casting stones.
A plea agreement for a Chiefs superfan, Xaviar Babudar, better known as ChiefsAholic, pled guilty to 3 counts in federal court today.
From the beginning of this case, folks, the government has been blitzing, and Xaviar's pocket was collapsing. But today, Xaviar stepped into the pressure. He took responsibility for his actions.
On February 28, 2024, 29-year-old Xaviar Babudar pleaded guilty to charges related to 11 bank robberies in 7 states. He will be sentenced July 10th, 2024, and faces up to 50 years in prison without parole.
When I looked at this case, I looked at it as this. That's a wolf in Chiefs clothing. If you cannot resolve whatever issues you've got through nonviolent means, then I'm going to resolve them for you. I'll make sure that you have a place to contemplate your words and your actions, and maybe one day you'll start realizing, I want to have a reputation that's worthy of remembrance, as opposed to the mugshot that's hanging up on a wall somewhere. He may be something to a bunch of Chiefs fans. In Tulsa County, he's a robber.
I think the majority of the fan base are glad that he's kind of out of the picture. You know, we lost one of the family that we thought was part of our family, but every family's got some ghosts, so I guess that's just what's taking place with ChiefsAholic.
From homeless to high roller and bank robber, this was Xaviar Babudar's everyday life. His reality away from Arrowhead Stadium, away from his Chiefs. But in a wolf suit and online, he transformed from a drifter into a celebrity, a superfan who wore multiple masks.
This is it, baby! AFC Championship game! The Martha Trophy came home last year, and guess what? It's not going anywhere. This entire season has been devoted to one purpose, and that's to run it back! Let's go, Chiefs!
That's the thing about the whole superfan. For a little bit of time, 6 to 8 hours that you're spending in a game, you're throwing on a different persona. You become something else for a little while, wearing that mask for the Chiefs games, being loved by everybody. You take it off and, you know, you're just another dude on the street doing what you do every day. His everyday activity wasn't what most of ours was. He was living a hard life. That's why putting on the mask, being ChiefsAholic out at that stadium, that was his moment of joy. He liked wearing that mask.